shaped by traditional knowledge and practices. The Gedeo people's spiritual connection with nature dates back to prehistoric times. Located on their territory is Odola Galma Rock. Its animal depictions, which probably represent cattle, are about 3,000 years old. Large standing stones symbolize fertility and growth. They play an important role in community ceremonies. Some also mark graves. Wood that's been illegally logged.
That as a pension scheme member, you have several rights that protect your savings and ensure your future is secure. First, once you exit your scheme, the law provides that you receive payment within 30 days, and you can transfer your benefits from one scheme to another within 60 days. You have options on exit to take cash, defer, or transfer your benefits. You also have the right to access and interrogate scheme documentation, attend annual general meetings, receive annual benefit statements, and nominate beneficiaries. Further, your pension savings are safeguarded by law, so scheme funds cannot be used to settle loans. Member benefits are protected from execution or attachment, even in cases of bankruptcy or death. The Retirement Benefits Authority plays a crucial role in managing your scheme. We supervise continuously, receiving quarterly and annual submissions from trustees and service providers. Your pension is in safe hands. Know your rights and trust Retirement Benefits Authority to keep your future secure. For more information, visit our website www.rba.go.ke, call our toll-free line on 0800 720 300 or email info@rba.go.ke. Secure your future, secure your peace of mind. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
It's 9 p.m. East African time. Labour Cabinet Secretary Dr. Alfred Mutua apologizes to the youth. We will be telling you why later on in this program.
Plus, tonight on the Cabinet, we focus on former Mwala Member of Parliament who played a crucial role in formation of NAC ahead of the 2002 general poll.
Good evening. My name is Mboya.
Good evening. I am Muchuma Odim.
And in the highlights tonight. Kenya launches campaign against gender-based violence with the justice system blamed for weakening the fight.
The University of Nairobi's Silicon Savannah Innovation Park is now launched.
Revamping the technology and innovation ecosystem, a Silicon Savannah complex is launched at the University of Nairobi.
And the Tax Laws Amendment Bill loaded for proposing a pay-as-you-earn reduction to increase disposable income.
It's a cold evening, but we want to warmly welcome you to Prime Edition. Our socials at KBC Channel 1. Our sign language expert tonight is Anne Wangeshi.
Straight to our top story now. The justice system has been cited as the weakest link in curbing gender-based violence in the country.
As Kenya joined the world in launching the 16 days of activism against GBV, victims of the vice decried weak investigations that let perpetrators get away and lengthy cases that worsen their agony. Kamche Meza tells us more.
A safe environment for all of us.
Lucy Njeri, a nominated MCA in Kirinyaga County, and Rose Nduta are mothers to victims of femicide, which claimed 97 lives in just 3 months. At a forum convened by journalists for human rights, they depicted the gravity of gender-based violence.
From the time my daughter was killed, I'm not able to do anything. Sometimes as if I'm growing mad. I cry a lot over the night sometimes those nightmares come. They stated that they played their parental role well, urging the society to stop judging femicide victims. So these maids whereby people say, and as our children, our girls go look for money from wababas. Those normalizing, those narratives that have been given to women, that have been given to girls, we must dismantle those light narratives. Whereas in Rose's case, the culprit were brought to book. For Lucy, the quest for justice has turned into a nightmare. And now looking for justice for somebody who is dead. She cannot wake up to say exactly what is happening. The DCI, who is a woman, when I entered, she's the one who approached me and started telling me about my daughter. Do you want to tell me that the DCI knows my daughter than I am? She started telling me, do you know your daughter had a brain tumor? How would I not know my daughter had a brain tumor since the time I gave birth to her? Such harrowing tales dominated the launch of the 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence campaign across the country. In Meru, just 2 days ago, an underage girl was raped and is recuperating from corrective surgery.
Sasa leo tunataka kutokezea ndio watu wetu wajue hata kama watoto wanadhulumiwa si haifai kuwa hivyo. As we walk around the town, let us condemn this act. Anti-GBV crusaders blame the justice system for not taming the vice.
These violations systematically deprive Kenyan women and girls of their rights as citizens, leaving them to live in fear both in private and public spaces.
Remain committed to advocate for a country free of violence and ensuring that the rights and freedoms of all individuals, particularly women and girls, are respected and are protected.
They demanded deliberate commitment from respective institutions. The media was also urged to ethically report GBV and follow up such cases to closure, especially where perpetrators have been arrested. The 16 Days of Activism campaign will end on 10th December. Kamche Menza for Prime Edition.
Thank you, Kamche. From GBV to femicide. Tom.
That's right. And even as Kenya launched the 16-day campaign against gender-based violence, a middle-aged man hacked his wife to death using a machete in Busia Township, that's in Busia County, on Monday.
Witnesses said the young couple is reported to have returned from a drinking spree before an altercation ensued in the wee hours of the night, leading to the death of the woman.
Here now is that report.
It was a somber mood in Busia Township in the outskirts of Busia Town, following the chilling killing of a middle-aged woman by her husband at their home when they disagreed after returning from a late-night drinking.
Pata kama huyo mwanamke tayari ameshalala hapo na kulingana venye ameuliwa ni kama ameuliwa na kisu ama kitu kama panga.
Ukiwa umelewa hauwezi kuwa umejijua. Unakuwa umelewa, anaweza kupiga panga, anaweza kupiga chenye anaweza kupiga nacho.
The residents condemned the incident, calling on security agencies to help contain cases of drug abuse and illicit brews that are causing stress in families.
Serikali mtende haki. Hatujafurahia, uwezi uwa mwenzako kama mnyama hivyo. Tumehuzunika watu wa hii area na tunafeel vibaya.
Kwa serikali pia nayo kaweza kuingilia ili kaweza kupika hiyo marufuku ya chang'aa. Mtu akikunywa hiyo chang'aa chenye anaweza fanya chochote ambacho chenye iko kwa akili yake.
This latest incident adds to the long list of femicide cases that have spiked in recent months. Martini Maslin, Prime Edition.
All right, let's now touch on tech. And Kenya has tonight embarked on a journey to advance innovation and technology with the launch of the Silicon Savannah Innovation Park at the University of Nairobi.
Spearheaded in partnership with France, the initiative marks a transformative chapter in the country's journey towards becoming a global technology and also sustainability leader.
Giverson Maina has the details.
The 35 million euros engineering and science complex, inaugurated on Friday at State House in Nairobi, forms the cornerstone of the ambitious project to be domiciled at the Chiromo campus. President William Ruto emphasized its role in placing Kenya at the forefront of the fifth industrial revolution.
Through collaboration with esteemed institutions such as Université Paris-Saclay and Central Super Lake, we have succeeded in establishing a world-class platform that affirms Kenya's credentials as Africa's foremost tech capital.
The complex, which is a collaboration with leading French institutions, will drive research in artificial intelligence, green engineering, and sustainable urban planning, while empowering women in STEM.
This project is not just about creating jobs. It is about reshaping Kenya's economic DNA by anchoring a robust technology and innovation ecosystem within a leading institution of higher learning.
French Minister of State for Francophonie and International Partnerships, Tani Mohamed, said France is proud to stand alongside Kenya to advance higher education, innovation and sustainability.
Strongly encourage other companies to build a public-private partnership. The science and engineering complex is first and foremost for the benefit of the Kenyan youth.
Chancellor Professor Patrick Vatoyen called the park a game changer for education and innovation in Africa.
Will be a transmission belt of tech startups to populate the Konza Technopolis. That's, of course, at the heart of Silicon Savannah. All right here in Kenya.
Linked to the Konza Technopolis, the hub is expected to cement Kenya's role in technology and sustainable development. President William Ruto now says the government is deliberate to roll out projects that will catalyze the creation of jobs for millions of Kenyan young people across the country. Giverson Maina, Prime Edition, State House, Nairobi.
Now on to that story really that many Kenyans care about. The Kenya Private Sector Alliance, KEPSA, has endorsed the proposed tax laws amendment bill, saying that it will cushion employees from the high cost of living that's being experienced by increasing their disposable income.
KEPSA, however, wants Parliament to review the excess duty proposed on cigarettes and alcohol, saying the increments will lead to use of illicit products.
Now, betting companies also opposed amendments that they say will hurt the gaming industry.
Gishuki Washira has the details.
The National Assembly's Finance Committee conducted public hearings on the proposed tax laws amendment bill that seeks to amend various tax laws to enhance revenue collection while protecting local businesses and employees. Okoa Uchumi Movement supported the bill but warned against raising taxes on imports, saying it will increase inflation since Kenya is a net importer.
While we commend this effort by National Treasury, and the Parliament, there's need to justify and dialogue the proposed tax measures. There is more that can be done to enhance.
The Kenya Private Sector Alliance, KEPSA, also endorsed the reduction of pay-as-you-earn tax, saying it will increase employees' disposable income. KEPSA, however, termed counterproductive the proposal of raising excise duty on cigarettes and alcohol.
This time we're happy that a lot of the local wananchi employees have been considered, and we're trying to cushion them, hopefully in the move to increase disposable incomes.
The Association of Gaming Operators in Kenya also warned against crippling the betting industry through increased taxes. They instead proposed replacement of excise tax on stakes with tax on deposits.
What we are proposing is 5% on deposits, 5% on withdrawals.
Let's tax what we are seeing. We are seeing the deposits, we are seeing the withdrawals.
The Tax Laws Amendment Bill also seeks to exempt pension payment, including gratuity, from income tax and introduce taxation of interest income from infrastructure bonds at the rate of 10%. Gishuki Washira, Prime Edition.
What's the time now?
It's 13 minutes past the top of the hour.
30 minutes past the top of the hour. I think
Yes.
it's actually 12 minutes past the top of the hour.
Here.
Okay, there you go. 30-12. But what I know is it's a time for a break, and it's all systems go for the Odim party elections. They're going to take place next week on Wednesday.
Tilio Marco will be bringing you that story with the detail and clarity.
Stay with us.
Christmas ni sahi ishafika na ni kubwa kubwa. Kweli? Hii Kristi ni bomba na Blue Santa kupitia star 570 hash option 1. Rudia. Star 570 hash option 1. Iko PlayStation 5 na 55 inch TV na iko 500,000 Kenyan shillings. Na mbuzi moja? Na mbuzi. 1 million Kenyan shillings na Samsung S24 Ultra. Na mbuzi moja? Iko 2 million Kenyan shillings na iPhone 16 Pro Max. Na mbuzi mbili. Blue Santa amekuja na zawadi kibao. Na ni kubwa kubwa. Hapa kuna ndogo ndogo. Hapa Christmas ni bomba.
Wewe bro, nipatie hiyo risiti ya items. Wazi.
Cheki, mimi sina ado hizo
Excuse, niletee risiti yangu ya items. Asante. Ni pesa ngapi? 3,000. Hebu nisaidie na ile risiti ya items.
Nimeshinda mili. I'm the latest millionaire. Marry me, baby.
Yes! Guys, nimeshinda laptop. Nimeshinda TV 50 inches.
G-Nice na Receipt Legit promotion kutoka KRA. Download Receipt Legit app, scan QR code kwenye receipt yako, ujishindie zawadi kem kila wiki. Kuna grand prize ya milioni 3 kwa washindi watatu, milioni kila mmoja.
The Kenya Medical Training College, KMTC, is delighted to announce its 93rd graduation ceremony scheduled for Thursday, December 5th, 2024 at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, Nairobi from 8 a.m. Graduates are reminded to pay a non-refundable graduation fee of 4,000 shillings using the payment details provided on the screen. Graduation gowns can be collected at the college headquarters, and the graduation booklet is available for download on the KMTC website. For more details on the graduation, training programs, intakes and application procedures, visit www.kmtc.ac.ke. KMTC, training for better health.
Are you looking for a brand-growing outdoor advertising with beautiful simplicity and an artistically inspired choice? Look no further. Our 40 years of credible reputation and experience will give you exceptional brand traction.
Are here today for the Kenya Breaking Championships.
Colourfest at Carnival Grounds on Saturday, the 23rd of November, was nothing short of spectacular.
We are located at Corner Plaza, 4th floor on Parklands Road. Take Talk. Get your brand on the talk with City Clock.
Welcome back from that short break.
Right.
Our socials?
At KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook and YouTube.
Very well. Now on to Health Watch.
The Council of Governors has given its unequivocal support for the Social Health Authority, saying it is working perfectly, calling on Kenyans to register in large numbers.
The council, through its chairperson, Garvano Hamed Abdullahi, said that SHA, which is now 2 months into its implementation, is effective in the county hospitals, with many accessing services.
Kasichana Masha with the details.
Speaking during the launch of the Financial Management and Procedures Manual for County Health Spending Units, a document that is tailored to guiding how county-run health facilities will raise and spend resources through the facilities improvement financing, Governor Ahmed said the negative talk against SHA and SHIF was guided by misinformation.
We don't want SHA to be a preserve for private facilities, like we used to accuse NHIF of, that the private facilities were taking out more than the public facilities.
Public Health and Professional Standards PS Mary Modoni said the government was working closely with the health institutions to understand the existing challenges and fix them as they arise in a bid to onboard as many Kenyans as possible to the health plan.
This manual is timely. It will go a long way in ensuring that the financing, the operational and management of costs in the health facilities more readily health commodities and products for the timely and uninterrupted supply of the health commodities.
This comes as faith-based health facilities urge the government to clear all arrears owed by the defunct National Health Insurance Fund. The religious leaders say the health services have been crippled due to inadequate resources.
I think the last figures that were confirmed from the NHIF system, from the SHA system that were available in the system, without probably considering those that were still claims from the facilities, were totaling 4 billion Kenyan shillings.
What has been happening is that a payment is made, but the debt continues to grow. Now we are, I think from 1st October, we are out of that, in that SHA will pay for SHA benefit, and we continue to track the payments and reduce the debt that were accrued by NHIF.
However, the Cabinet Secretary for Health, Deborah Barasa, pledged that the government will disburse 5 billion shillings next week to health facilities and to reduce the outstanding debts from the defunct NHIF. Kasichana Masha, Prime Edition.
Now it's all systems go for the Odim party election slated to begin on Wednesday this week.
The National Elections Coordinating Committee Chairperson Emily Awita says 30 new office bearers, who include 10 mainstream, 10 youth league and 10 women league, will be elected during the elections that will take place at the polling stations level across the country.
Now, meanwhile, Odim members in Kakamega County have finally resolved their differences in the management of the party elections in the county. So those elections are slated for this Wednesday and not.
Very peaceful elections na baholo na kwa Kakamega County kwa ujumla. Hii chama sio ya mtu. Na hii chama jinsi vile mnajua, either si ya Barasa na tena sio ya else. Hii chama ni yetu sisi wote.
Sisi tuko tayari tuenda kwa uchaguzi na mfumo ambao unaenda kutumika. Sasa tumesikizana na mchakato mzima mtauona, na sisi pia ninajua kwamba nyinyi pia na wanachama wa ODM muje tarehe 27 katika polling station zenyu ili muweze kuchaguliwa na kuchagua wale viongozi ambao wanafaa.
Uchaguzi utakuwa inakufanyika. Amani iwe kipaumbele. Palipo na amani kila kitu kitakuwa sawa. Na sipokuwa na amani itakuwa ni vita. Na kila kitu kitaharibika.
Right, to the corridors of justice, the Kiambu High Court has overturned a 40-year prison sentence handed to Daniel Manyeki, a man who had been convicted in 2007 for defiling his two daughters, aged 7 and 9 at the time.
Justice Dora Chepkwony, presiding over the appeal, ruled in favor of Manyeki after new evidence presented in court revealed that the allegations, believe it or not, were fabricated under coercion by a relative.
This landmark judgment marked the end of a 17-year legal battle for Manyeki, who was incarcerated at Committee Maximum Prison.
Here's that report.
17 years ago, Daniel Manyeki was condemned for a crime he didn't commit. However, thanks to his spirited fight for freedom and the undenying need to clear his tainted name, he can now finally breathe a sigh of relief. The charges originated from 2007 case in Thika, where he was accused of defiling his daughters aged 7 and 9 while their mother was away. Following his conviction, Manyeki appealed unsuccessfully in 2008 and 2011 before filing a new petition. One of the daughters, now married, testified that she and her sister has been coerced by an elder relative to falsely implicate their father. The court deemed the evidence credible, with Justice Chepkwony stating that the initial conviction was based on misinterpreted facts. Consequently, the judge coerced the 2007 conviction and referred the case back to the lower court, where the prosecution formally withdrew the charges.
The court grants the petitioner's new request for a new trial, and the following orders do issue: that the conviction and sentence in Thika criminal case number 5165 of 2007, Nairobi High Court Criminal Appeal number 371 of 2008, and Nairobi Criminal Appeal Court of Appeal Criminal Appeal number 276 of 2011 are hereby quashed and set aside, and the matter is hereby remitted to the trial court for a new trial to be initiated based on the recanted evidence and any further evidence that the parties may deem necessary.
Defense counsel Kirogo Wandegwa condemned the judgment, emphasizing the importance of addressing injustices stemming from circumstantial and coerced evidence, particularly in cases involving family disputes over property.
Circumstantial evidence, which is largely what the court relies on, is what was used to convict. I think that needs to be revealed. It needs to be looked so that we don't end up convicting innocent people.
Speaking outside the court, Margaret Ngonyo, Manyeki's wife, and Rose Wanjiku, his daughter, expressed profound gratitude for the ruling and their reunion with Manyeki in 17 years.
Kuna mwenye ako na chuki na mwingine, nao watoto walikuwa wadogo wakiongea, so hawako wanajijua, na kwa saizi ni watu wakubwa na baba amewasamehea, ana uadui na mtu yoyote, anataka tu amani.
They forgave the relative responsible for the accusation and thanked the court for finally delivering justice. Manyeki's release has been hailed as victory for the judicial system's ability to rectify past injustices. Letua Debra for Prime Edition.
In a landmark initiative aimed at addressing pressing health challenges across the continent of Africa, the Africa Academy of Health and Sciences was officially inaugurated in Dakhla, that's in Morocco,
In addition to training health professionals, the Academy plans to partner with various organizations to conduct research on urgent health issues, including infectious disease prevention, maternal and child care.
The effect of climate change on public health is also on the agenda list.
Mariambo reports from Dakhla in Morocco.
The African Academy for Health and Sciences promises to be a hub for research, education, and innovation in elevating health standards and scientific research across Africa. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony attended by health experts, the Moroccan Minister for Health, Amin Taharoui, praised the establishment of the Academy as a significant step towards improving healthcare outcomes in Africa. Professor Jaffa Haikel from the Mohammed VI Foundation emphasized the importance of localized research.
So we can together build a new health system for Africa in terms of training for people, for young researchers, but also in terms of vaccine sovereignty, in terms of competence and capability for Africa by Africans.
Other African health experts commended the initiative as a step towards finding local solutions for health challenges facing Africa.
We really need to keep focus on this kind of initiatives because the secret of our development will come from this kind of initiative.
Even without health, we cannot improve our economies. Without health, without human resources that is not healthy, nothing much can happen.
The state-of-the-art facility plans to partner with various organizations to attract students and researchers from across the continent and beyond. As the African Academy for Health and Sciences is inaugurated here in Dakar, Morocco, it stands as a beacon of hope and progress in the quest for improved health outcomes across Africa. Now, the Academy also stands as a transformative force in the continent's future. Marie Yambo reporting for KBC Channel 1 in Dakar, Morocco.
Ungependa kuwa mshindi na Lucky Box? Ni rahisi sana.
Bonyeza *463# uwe mshindi.
Umepata msaada wote kutoka wapi?
Hata huo mzigo wa kwenda bodo sitisha. Usiupeleke mpaka nikwambie.
Iwapo Jasiri atafariki kwa kukosa matibabu, roho yake haitatulia milele.
Kaka kwa alidungwa kisu kwenye sherehe yako, wewe hata mshipa moyo hukugongi.
Mnigonge kwa lipi?
Kila mtu anaweza kuwa mshindi. Bonyeza *463# uwe mshindi.
Kuchagua box ni kuchagua chapa.
Kumbuka, kila unapocheza Lucky Box unasaidia watoto kusoma.
Mamlaka ya ukusanyaji ushuru nchini inakuletea kampeni ya umma ya G-Nice na Risiti Legit. Thibitisha risiti yako ukitumia app ya Risiti Legit, upate nafasi ya kuibuka mshindi wa zawadi kemkem kama vile shilingi milioni 1 pesa taslim, laptops, televisheni ya inchi 50, smartphones na zawadi zingine. Alhamisi tarehe 28, kutana nasi mjini Embu, Runyenjes, Siakago, Manyata, Kiritiri Market na Mbere. Kutana na msafara wetu wa Meru, maeneo ya Chuka, Nkubu na Meru Town tarehe 29 Ijumaa. Tarehe 30 siku ya Jumamosi tutaanzia Meru Town, Nchiru, Kianjai, Mutwate na Maua Town. Pata app ya Risiti Legit kwa Google Play Store au App Store kwa maelezo ya kuingia katika mashindano ya Risiti Legit. G-Nice na Risiti Legit. KRA, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee.
Have a complaint, or is something just not adding up with your pension scheme? It's easy to file a complaint directly with the Retirement Benefits Authority, and it's absolutely free. Just visit www.complaints.rba.go.ke and follow the prompts to file your complaint. RBA will acknowledge your complaint within 7 working days. Your complaint will be reviewed and addressed within 30 working days. Your time and peace of mind are important, and anyone dissatisfied with a decision of RBA can appeal to the Independent Retirement Benefits Appeals Tribunal. RBA is here to listen and resolve your complaint promptly because your retirement should be stress-free. For more information, visit our website www.rba.go.ke, call our toll-free line 0800-720-300 or email info@rba.go.ke. Secure your future. Secure your peace of mind. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
Umepata msaada wote kutoka wapi?
Hata huo mzigo wa kwenda bodo sitisha. Usiupeleke mpaka nikwambie.
Iwapo Jasiri atafariki kwa kukosa matibabu, roho yake haitatulia milele.
Kaka kwa lidungwa kisu kwenye sherehe yako. Wewe hata mshipa moyo hukugongi.
Mnigonge kwa lipi?
Na mtu nataka kuona huko ndani.
Sawa, shakuelewa huku kuishi watu. Kama angekuwa uniambia atakuona mnyama hapo ungekutuka, lakini mtu kuishi watu hapa ndani. Nyinyi ndio mnajifanya mnakiuka amri yangu, si ndio?
Amri gani jamani? Mbura mambo gani unaofanya?
Well, last week we did not carry this story, but we promised that
this week we will do it.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Yeah.
On the cabinet, we focus on John Katuku, a former Mwala member of parliament who, ahead of the 2002 general election, played a crucial role in the formation of the National Alliance Party of Kenya, whose leaders were Mwai Kibaki,
Wamalwa Kijana,
and Charity Ngilu.
Now, National Alliance Party of Kenya would join hands with Raila Amolo Odinga's Liberal Democratic Party to form what was known as the
Rainbow Coalition, but then it was NAC, that dislodged Kanu from power.
President Kibaki appointed Katuku as the Minister for Water.
Here it is, that story.
Born in 1965, John Mutua Katuku graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in social work from the University of Nairobi in 1993, later studying Masters of Arts in Sociology at Kenyatta University between 1994 and 1996. From 1996 to 1997, Katuku worked as a Community Development Officer and Administrator at the Child Welfare Society of Kenya before entering politics. He was elected Mwala Member of Parliament in 1997, aged 32. Ahead of the 2002 general election, Katuku was the chairman of the strategy caucus that formed National Alliance of Kenya, the coalition that brought together Democratic Party Chairman Mwai Kibaki, National Party of Kenya leader Charity Ngilu, and Ford Kenya's Kijana Wamalwa. National Alliance of Kenya would join hands with the Liberal Democratic Party to form the National Rainbow Coalition NAC, with Kibaki being its flag bearer, and eventually winning the presidency in the 2002 general election, with Katuku getting re-elected as Mwala Member of Parliament. He was a beneficiary of a rebellion within the National Rainbow Coalition that had swept into power in 2002 with Kibaki as the presidential flag bearer. After forming his first cabinet, President Kibaki's government set about supporting a referendum on changing the constitution of Kenya. As a member of Ngilu's National Party of Kenya, Katuku supported the draft constitution. To achieve ethnic balance in the cabinet, he formed after sending all his referendum ministers home. President Kibaki had to pick one other minister besides Ngilu from Lower Eastern. Katuku was in the right place at the right time. He was picked the Minister for Water Resource. Come 2007, Katuku running on NAC Kenya ticket was defeated by Daniel Mwoki of the Orange Democratic Movement Kenya Party that had overrun almost the entire Ukambani region in support of Kalonzo Musyoka's presidential bid. In 2008, when Musyoka struck a deal with Kibaki that earned him the post of vice president, Katuku led a group of Kamba members of parliament who had been defeated in the 2007 election in accusing the president of betrayal. In 2013, however, he sought the nomination of Musyoka's Wiper Democratic Movement Kenya Party for the Machakos governorship. He lost to Alfred Mutua. Katuku later joined Ndeti in decamping to Chama cha Uzalendo and contested the governor's seat as her running mate. Again, they lost to Mutua. In the 2017 general election, Katuku initially planned to try and recapture the Mwala seat, but changed his mind and formed the People's Trust Party to contest the Machakos Senate seat. He lost to Boniface Kabaka of CCU. In 2020, he joined Maendeleo Chapchap. In 2021, he was the Maendeleo Chapchap senatorial candidate. He then withdrew his candidacy. Outside of politics, he's an avid golfer and convener of the Cumbersome Golf Series. Jackie Wambiru, The Cabinet.
Welcome to Business News. Kenya is among a host of East African countries that are planning to increase regulations to control potato and other propagated crop seeds trade to reduce spread of diseases. Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Services Seed Certification Head Simon Maina says the region is crafting a common policy that will control sale and distribution of potato seeds to improve provision of certified seeds to farmers to boost production.
Kenya produces 2 million tons of potato annually against a consumption of 4 million tons. To fill the deficit, Kenya imports potatoes from Tanzania and Uganda. The low potato production is blamed on poor seed systems due to poor regulations that has limited farmers' access to clean planting materials. The Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Services say the region is developing a policy framework that will further regulate cross-border trade of potato and other tuber crops.
The bill has been forwarded to the East Africa Registration Assembly, which is going to discuss, and once the bill is approved by IALA, then it becomes a law to be implemented in the East African community member states.
Under the policy, seed merchants will be required to trade on seeds certified by a regional body.
Since the experts who are looking at this are seed experts, we're able to look what works well for the community.
Increased distribution of certified seeds is expected to increase production from the current 9 tons per hectare to an average of 18 tons.
The seed is expensive. You're looking at 3,000 per bag, and a farmer needs 16 of these bags. So 16 times 3,000 is 48. It's too high.
To further streamline the potato and other tuber crops production, the European Union has released 39 million shillings to boost the potato seed systems.
At country level, no country is meeting the national demand for certified seed. And so we need policy support. We need a conducive policy environment that can enable the adoption and use of certified seed.
The 3-year program is also earmarked to boost potato production and exports in the region. Benson Drioba reporting for Prime Edition.
Star 570 hash. Option 1 kuna PS5 na ni full package na inakuja na JBL Party Box. Your boom experience pia iko.
Welcome back. Now, let's touch on digital space. The government is working on an innovation fund that will see startups benefit from a revolving kitty to finance ideas in the innovation and digital economy space. ICT Authority CEO Stanley Kamanguya says the proposal is contained in the Startup Bill 2024 and is urging innovators to familiarize with the contents.
The Communication Authority of Kenya indicates that in 2023, the digital economy injected around 600 billion shillings into the Kenyan economy. However, experts say this can grow even further if more Kenyans were empowered to join the space by providing access.
From a legislation point of view, we have been pushing very hard to have an innovation fund, but this then becomes a form of revolving fund, so that once you scale to market level, then the funds can be used to assist the next innovator who comes on board.
The revolving fund is part of government's efforts in growing the country's digital economy, including focus on digital skilling of Kenyan youth in priority areas such as artificial intelligence.
That means working to ensure national AI policy, cloud computing policy, and related policies that are going to be facilitators and not just extractors of revenue.
With proper digital skilling, you can even find better things to do and expose yourselves to.
They were speaking at the launch of Google's Impact on Kenya's Digital Economy report, where it emerged that in 2023, over 300,000 young adults learned a new digital skill through the search engine, while Kenyan workers saved over 5.5 million working hours through troubleshooting. Additionally, over 116 billion shillings was contributed into the country through digital economy interactions on Google.
Public first projections indicate that AI could contribute $2.4 billion to the Kenyan economy in 2030, by 2030. As AI adoption grows, Kenya has a unique opportunity to establish itself.
The government is leveraging partnerships with companies like Google to upscale its digital economy growth agenda. Alanauko, Prime Edition.
Now, Kenyan innovators have been challenged to monetize their intellectual properties in a bid to commercialize their innovations. Kenya Industrial Property Institute Deputy Managing Director Stephen Ngeno says businesses and creators need to leverage intellectual property for economic gain.
While innovation in Kenya has traditionally centered on entrepreneurship, a substantial untapped potential exists for innovation through research. Stephen Ngeno, the Deputy Managing Director at the Kenya Industrial Property Institute, says IP training is crucial for safeguarding innovative research ideas and facilitating their commercialization.
We have come up to design and to develop an IP policy. Policy which is now under development that will guide the use and the protection of innovations in Kenya.
Speaking during the signing of Memorandum of Understanding between a global automation company Factor Y and the University of Nairobi, players in the sector identified lack of access to markets and inadequate funding as hindrances to the protection of ideas across various industries.
What was missing to date was a system to ensure that we're able to onboard our local IP to international markets, in consideration of the fact that maybe our local enterprise, our local commerce, may not be able to take up certain innovations. But who knows, some of these innovations can work in another country.
Looking at helping them to monetize IPs that have been shelved, so that actually today have no value. For different reasons they have been shelved and not further been processed and put into a startup with everything that goes with it, with funding and so forth.
Speakers lauded government efforts to boost innovation-led growth and nurturing a more inclusive innovation ecosystem. Frederick Mwoki for Prime Edition.
Technology service providers are calling on the government to create an enabling environment for them to run their business of service provision and the management of the Kenya Internet Exchange. Among the issues raised are digital tax and way leaves, which they say addressing will be critical in achieving the service providers' goals, as reported by Yusuf Farah.
The engagement that brought together technology service providers and the Ministry of Information, Communication and the digital economy saw a number of challenges raised by these service providers which need attention.
Digital tax will be a challenge if enacted. When excess duty is increased from 15 to 20%, there's a decrease in usage. I've mentioned bailiffs, our partners in the county governments, and I've heard the PSs and Waziri are aware and working closely with county governments, but if that could only be expedited.
TESPOC also raised concerns on the establishment of the Protection of Critical Infrastructure Bill, which the government on its end challenged them to come up with a better definition of its meaning for both parties to benefit.
Infrastructure providers, OTT, the submarine cable operators, we really are challenged with vandalism. We have also to help government to come out with a better definition of what is composed of critical infrastructure, and you must think 30 years, 50 years from now, so that some of the things you think are not critical infrastructure can easily become critical infrastructure in a few years to come.
Role in advancing the government's agenda in the digital space, the government officials called on TESPOC to take advantage of the opportunities that are available in the provision of digital services as the government seeks to digitize majority of its platforms.
We have 1.3 million and there are potential of 9.6 million homes and businesses to be connected. On government connections, we have 74,000 public institutions that we need to connect. We have 25,000 public Wi-Fis. We have the overall rising of the digital economy.
Come and tell government that if you do this tax, you do this measure, you undertake this measure, it even affects your agenda more than it supports it.
Ethical business, I think we need to ensure that is our guiding principle, to ensure that we are sustainability, we are concerned about our country. Yeah, we don't want just to make profits.
The service providers, on their part, ask for an enabling business environment that allows seamless operations. The government is further committing to streamline policies and invest in infrastructure that facilitates advocacy partnerships, evaluations, research and capacity building for the service providers in subsequent meetings to discuss challenges and solutions. Here's for reporting for Prime Edition.
Glad you're watching the Prime Edition, and on that note, we are taking a break. When we return, we have Bernard Coach Okumu with the latest from the world of sports, including the launch of the Iyala Games. Stay with us.
Je, ungependa kuwa mshindi na Lucky Box? Ni rahisi sana.
Bonyeza *463# uwe mshindi.
Vile unanikatianga, mimi ninakataa, ndio unakuja kuniwekelea hapo.
Nani?
Sio uende pole pole. Wewe naona niambia na unakani hata wewe unauliza ama ni mama anauliza.
Mama ni nani?
Okay, bring it on. Mheshimiwa.
Ati?
When did you start to printing money and you are not at Elalu?
Yeah? Kila mtu anaweza kuwa mshindi. Bonyeza *463#. Uwe mshindi. Kuchagua box ni kuchagua chapa.
Kumbuka, kila unapocheza Lucky Box unasaidia watoto kusoma.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture.
Movies, gossip and trends, sports, drama.
we bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
To keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed.
We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
And it is indeed time for the latest from the sports world with me, Bernardo Kumu. And we begin with the East Africa Parliamentary Games, where it's all systems go ahead of the 14th edition of the East Africa Community Interparliamentary Games, set to be held from the 6th to 18th of December in Mombasa. Now, the games will involve member teams from Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, South Sudan, hosts Kenya, and the East Africa Legislative Assembly members.
Speaking during a media bra held at the Parliament buildings here in Nairobi, Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Wetangula, noted that the Bunge sports team will be aiming for nothing short of a victorious outing in this year's edition, having prepared adequately for the games.
When we went to Rwanda, Uganda brought a contingent of over 600 people to cheer, intimidate, frustrate, and ensure victory. If we are doing it in Kenya, I don't see why we should not have as many in Mombasa.
On his part, Sports Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen hailed the team for its unwavering spirit while calling on other members of the parliament to come out and cheer Team Kenya in the 2-week event.
Being an ardent sports fan and having played for Bunge FC, you will all appreciate that now it helped me to understand the role that I have been given as a CS of sports, and therefore I am a beneficiary of this very important sports club.
This year's edition of the Yala Games will include different sporting disciplines, namely athletics, football, volleyball, basketball, netball, and darts for persons with disabilities.
As the media fraternity, the sports media fraternity, we are gearing to go. We are ready to cover the East African Community Parliamentary Games in Mombasa, and we are here for you.
Athletics, football, and tug of war will be held at the KPM Baraki grounds, while basketball, netball, volleyball, and darts will be held at the Aga Khan and Tononoka grounds. For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
And of course, every Kenyan attending those games will be waiting to see if Kenya can upstage Uganda in the men's football match. Moving on, athletes competing in the weekend track and field meets as well as the national cross-country series are set to reap big after Athletics Kenya signed a sponsorship deal worth 15 million Kenya shillings with Betika. Now, speaking during the launch, Athletics Kenya President, retired Lieutenant General Jack Tuwei, said the partnership, dubbed the Road to Tokyo, will see 5 million shillings set aside as prize money for the remaining 3 cross-country series. And the new partnership winners of the 10-kilometer cross-country races will be rewarded 150,000 shillings, while the under-20 winners will get 100,000 shillings. The remaining 10 million shillings will be rewarded to athletes who will participate in the track and field events leading up to the national trials to select Team Kenya for the next year's World Athletics Championship in Tokyo, Japan. Athletics Kenya and Betika are also working towards a long-term partnership that will cover preparations for the Los Angeles Olympic Games in 2028 to ensure that Kenya posts better results than those achieved at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games.
We were actually appealing to some of the sponsors, some of the corporates to come and support us, because as we look at the new calendar of events, there are a lot of things that we need to do. Preparations, we need to organize events, we need to do so many things before we go to Tokyo.
This is a specific event that we have sponsored, but why not actually open it and stretch it so that it becomes now not Road to Tokyo, but Road to Olympics? And Olympics takes 4 years, so we want to be having now a road to the Olympics.
What we've given out today, the 5 million structure is clear that one goes, and it is what also elevates the national championship, the national cross-country championship, into us paying 150 for the winners.
Elsewhere, the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports has on Monday unveiled a 12-member advisory committee to address the rising cases of gender-based violence in sports. Now, Sports Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen said the Gender Protection and Implementation Committee, which will be chaired by celebrated marathoner Catherine Dereba and professional footballer Esia Kida, will be tasked with developing policies to curb femicide and ensure a safe environment for women in sports. He added that the rising cases of femicide are alarming, urging the committee to do their best to give civic education to sportsmen and women to curb the vice. And the members of the task force include Paul Ochieng, Barbara Maloa, Diana Watila, Catherine Njeri Maina, Lona Tanui, Fadosa Hassan Boru, and Patricia Arisi.
Therefore, this committee to reach out to different players in sports sector, including the media, civil society organizations, federations, corporate bodies, training camps, operators, development partners, and Kenyans of goodwill, and even co-opt some of them to the committee to enable the expeditious realization of the set mandate and resolution of GBV issues.
It is through you, through your ministry, that sportsmen and women are being honored and even being thought of.
And to some more good news, where Safaricom has forged a monumental 2-year 90 million shilling sponsorship deal with the Kenya Rugby Union that will cover the Kenya national sevens teams, Shujaa and the Lionesses.
After being away for 15 years, Safaricom returned with a lucrative package of 90 million Kenya shillings for the national sevens team Shujaa and the Kenya Lionesses as they prepare for the HSBC World Rugby Series and the HSBC Challenger Series respectively. During the unveiling ceremony, the chairman of the Kenya Rugby Union, Sasha Mutai, expressed his gratitude to Safaricom, who will now be co-sponsoring the Kenya sevens team to ensure they maintain their winning streak. Safaricom Chief Financial Service Officer Esther Waititu said the sponsorship will cover direct payments via M-Pesa, take care of their health, as well as provide financial literacy training to ensure they are taken care of on and off the pitch.
And to rally now, where the 2024 ARC Equator Rally as well as Guru Nanak Rally, which was scheduled to run concurrently this weekend, has been cancelled due to inclement weather. Now, the Equator Rally, which is the last round of the FIA Africa Rally Championship, was scheduled to run alongside the Guru Nanak Rally, which is the last round of the Kenya National Rally Championship. The Kenya Motorsport Federation General Manager Mora Njuguna said they had informed the FIA of the circumstances facing the planning and organization of the concurrent championships, and they had agreed to cancel it for reasons of force majeure, which calls for such decisions due to unforeseeable circumstances. Karan Patel and Tosif Yusuf Khan had already been crowned the Africa Rally Champions for the second year running before this cancellation, while in the local scene, Saman Vokra was leading the Kenya National Rally Championship with his closest rival, Jasmeet Chana, hoping to defend his title. Well, and that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I get you back to Tom and Irene to get it over the line. I'm Bernardo Kumu. Have a blessed night.
Thank you, Bernardo Kochokumu, for handling that sports segment very well. Of course, earlier on, Muchuma Odim was in charge of the day's business. Hey, by the way, Dr. Mutua, the cabinet secretary, has apologized to Kenyans who have been victims, who have been duped by agencies who take advantage of them. And he was talking somewhere.
He was speaking in Nakuru, and he expressed his regrets over the financial and emotional toll inflicted on the young ones.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it's a good initiative, Tom, to see the government paying a keen attention to such concerns.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. We've got to go now.
Yeah. But before we go, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your feedback on our social media platforms on X, YouTube, and Facebook. Our sign language expert tonight is Anne Wangeshi. My name is Muchuma Odim.
And I'm Mboya. We'll be back again tomorrow. Good night from Nairobi, Kenya.
Ishafika na ni kubwa. Kweli? Hii Kristi ni bomba na